Recording live from somewhere.
Totem Pole Sports, we are here on a beautiful Monday afternoon. It's summertime. We officially started. This is Totem Pole Sports. We got a lot of things we got to talk about. Caitlin Clark, did she get snubbed by the Team USA? There's a lot of great women in that roster. Darren Waller's shocking retirement. And not only that, but the other breaking news is that Darren Hurley finally had some common sense with that bald head of his. He finally had some common sense and said, I am going to stay at UConn, turn down the Lakers job, and go for a three-peat, which he has a chance to do. The first thing I'm going to start with is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has gotten bullied pretty bad. I wouldn't say bullied, but, she's been treated unfairly, and a lot of women don't like her. Let's just keep honest, and let's keep it a buck when it comes to Caitlin Clark. She is the reason this season she's bringing in all that revenue. She's bringing all that revenue. Her fans bringing all that revenue from college. You might want to be careful what you wish for. Now, let's look at this roster. Let's look at this roster because this women's Olympics team is going to be something special. So, did she get snubbed? Yes or no? I know she did text her Fever head coach that they brought a dog out of her. She's very angry. She saw that. She's very, very angry. So on the roster, if I'm correct, let me make sure. On the roster right now, they have Kelsey Palm, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, AJ Wilson, Jackie Young. You got Sabrina. Don't know how to pronounce her last name. You got Joel Lloyd, Ryan Howard, Brittany Griner, who's on the roster, Ariel Atkins, Shakira Austin, Aaliyah Boston, and Chelsea Gray. Now, that's a pretty hell of a roster. Now, I don't know which one I would want to take out so far. Now, the next Summer Olympics aren't until 2028, and it's going to be in Los Angeles. Will Caitlin Clark make the Summer Olympics in 2028? Yes. Give Caitlin Clark time to develop. Just give her some time. She'll be fine. The Indiana Fever, I know they're struggling. They barely won maybe 1 or 2 games. I know last year they didn't win but 13 games, if I'm being correct. Let's just calm down. But there's a lot of Hall of Fame. There's a lot of Hall of Fame women here. A lot of Hall of Famers. I can't disrespect none of them. They're great. The U.S. has won every gold medal in women's basketball since 1996 Atlanta Games. That's better than the men because the men's team in 2020 or the roster we had last year or whatever world, it wasn't great. We came with 4th place. This women's team is just great. It's special. I mean, Caitlin Clark could have been chosen as an alternate if one of the 12 players is injured and can't play. That's probably the only hope that she could probably get into it this year. But let's not make a big deal about this. Look, Caitlin Clark is going to be one of the top women in the WNBA. Just give her some time. Give her about 2-3 years. But this Indiana Fever team is just going to have to come together in general. They came off a losing season last year. They're going to have to just – everybody – she's going to be fine. But let's be honest. The revenue is coming from Caitlin Clark. All the private jets and all those charters, you got it from Caitlin Clark. Imagine you didn't have a Caitlin Clark in college basketball. Just imagine. How many – look, Caitlin Clark sold out all those tickets. She sold out all those tickets at Iowa. Sold out. A game to Iowa women's basketball. I think it was Iowa versus LSU. The lowest ticket was $430. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about almost all of my cargo just to go watch Caitlin Clark. Let's just keep it a buck here. Let's stop overreacting about this Caitlin Clark stuff. Look, it's her first year in the WNBA. I know she did great things in college, but she'll make the Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles. So whether she got snubbed, whatever y'all feel bad about it, whether she's getting treated unfairly, I'm just here to be honest with you. I have no hate against Caitlin Clark, and I'm not being biased. I'm just telling you the truth. With that roster I just named, who am I going to replace Caitlin Clark with? The U.S. women won every gold medal since 1996. So if you keep winning, who is there to replace? All right. Next thing we get to the NFL. Let's go. Darren Waller's shocking retirement. Darren Waller and Kelsey Plum did have a divorce. Not getting into details why they got a divorce. I, in my own perspective, it's both of these people when it comes to Darren Waller and Kelsey Plum. Both of these women, both of the couples are like the breadwinner. Kelsey Plum is a WNBA star, Hall of Famer. Also, Darren Waller is a great football player. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. He's a great tight end. I thought he was great with the Raiders. You know, he talked about his overcoming of him being an alcoholic, whatever. That's great. But he's 31 years old. He didn't attend any all-season workouts, no mandatory camp, which begins tomorrow. He did have a medical situation in November, and then he suffered an injury last season. But Darren Waller's shocking retirement for the stuff he's been through is really not surprising. I think, one, it just plays into a factor that what he said is that in his life that he has been a people pleaser, right? He's been doing things that people ask him to do. He's a people pleaser. You never want to be a people pleaser. You have to be able to live your life the way you want to live your life. Don't ever please people. Pleasing people doesn't get you to have friends. Now, I know you saw that music video that he had. I didn't listen to the song, but I saw part of it. I think that related to Kelsey Plum. It's just he's going through a lot of stuff mentally, physically, but I think it's great for him to retire. One, he's kind of seen it now instead of waiting until later to fix the situation. Number two, the Giants are bad. Why are you want to play for the Giants? They're so bad. Brian Dable's job might be on the line. Daniel Jones is a bum quarterback. Come on now. Do I want to put my blood and sweat and tears to play for the Giants? No. They don't even have a quarterback. Now I know he's gonna, miss about $33 million. He says, he has 3 years left. He's gonna miss the money. I think it's somewhere average of $750,000 or in bonuses or whatever, or more than that. But he's just dealing with, personal stuff. Hey, he missed the money. It's not always about the money. It's always about taking care of yourself. So Darren Waller's retirement, it's not really shocking to me at all. I think at the end of the day, let's just respect his privacy. He'll be fine. This is great for Darren Waller to actually step away before the season started, before you got into training camp. Very smart. Always learn how to take care of yourself. Always learn how to take care of your body, because at the end of the day, life is hard. You only live life once. So, Darren Waller, I think he had a great career. I think one of his best careers when he was with, he was selected in the Pro Bowl. He was with the Raiders practice squad, and then he became, a big name. So, the divorce has hurt the guy. So let's just go from there. Darren Waller will be fine. It's not the end of the world. I wish him nothing but the best. Next thing I talk about, Dan Hurley. Now, I am a Kentucky fan. And I like John Calipari until he dipped out for Arkansas. I might be a UConn fan this year. I might be a UConn fan. I never had any hate towards UConn. And the reason why I say UConn, because I was a big fan of Kemba Walker. I was a big fan of Kemba Walker. A very big fan of him coming out of college. So Dan Hurley was very smart. His bald head self, I respect the guy. Very smart to turn down a job for the Lakers and going to win his third consecutive championship with the Huskies. Now, the deal was 6 years, worth $70 million. By the way, UConn is probably going to make him the second or third highest paying coach in college basketball. What are the Lakers going to do now? Well, you better go J.J. Redick. Because if there's not J.J. Redick, who do you go with? You've been on the market for 35 plus days with no head coach. Are you going to hire a head coach after the NBA Finals? Let's say if the Celtics sweep the Mavericks, the series will end on Friday. Or if it goes to Game 5, the series will end either on Monday or Sunday. Steven, thank you for tuning in to Totem Pole Sports. Appreciate you, Steven. Thank you for the comment. We love you. Darren Hurley was smart. Stay in college where you have control of your personnel. You did great in the transfer portal. You won back-to-back national championships. You won 30-plus games in a season. 30-plus games. You don't have – see, your team offensively doesn't have to shoot threes. Y'all are a team guy. Keep that culture. Imagine you have to dealing with LeBron James. Do you want to deal with LeBron James? Because LeBron James, the reason why he's not the GOAT is because he pushes coaches out. But nobody wants to talk about that. Michael Jordan had a Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, one of the greatest top coaches in the NBA. 11-time champion. Nobody wants to talk about Phil Jackson. See, the problem with the Lakers is y'all want to hire all these sexy candidates. There's no such thing as a sexy hire. Can I go to the football thing? Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron never really became a head coach until LSU. Because Ed Orgeron was a great interim coach. I mean, he had all of these stops, but he wasn't a sexy pick. Why don't you just coach somebody, or excuse me, why don't you just hire somebody that can actually coach the team? Can we stop worrying about what school they came from and what suit and tie they wear and how much money they did and all this other stuff? Who cares? If you can coach, no matter what, if you can coach, you deserve the job. Stop. Let's be honest. The Lakers have fired 8 coaches in the last 15 years since 2010. They hadn't won anything. The Lakers didn't build with Kobe Bryant. They gave up on Kobe Bryant. They didn't build around the man. Look what happened after they won back-to-back NBA Finals from 2009 and 2010. They got all these young guys. When Paul Gasol started to leave, and you know, Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom, all those veteran guys, Luke Walton all started to leave. They had younger guys. See, the Lakers are in big trouble, and I'm a Celtics fan, so I'm glad that they're somewhat in trouble because I don't like the Lakers. Thank you, Michael Scott, for the comment, and thank you, Daredevil Watson, whatever your name is. That's the worst name in the world. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate you. More comments that helps the algorithm. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the Lakers, they're in big trouble. They got the 17th pick in the draft. They got the 55th pick in the draft. You'll be dumb if you spend that 17th pick on Bronny James. You'll be dumb. Because everybody in the NBA draft right now, I know I named 15 players on Lambert World Sports, but everybody in the draft is better than Bronny James. Everybody is better than Bronny James. Look, man, Dan Hurley, you made the smartest decision. You've turned around programs at Wagner, Rhode Island. You're your seventh season in UConn. 7 season in UConn. You only won back-to-back national champions. Good job for staying. Because if you would have went to the Lakers, they would have ran you out in 3 years. Just like they did Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham can't coach. Hands in his pocket. You ran Frank Vogel out the door. How many coaches LeBron gonna run out the door? See, the team is not about LeBron. It's not about the Lakers. It's about LeBron. What LeBron can do. What LeBron can bring you. Who cares? Y'all got to have a core. Anthony Davis is done. LeBron is getting older. He's not going to be able to carry no more. It's not the Cleveland days where he can carry the team on his back. This is not Cleveland. When you get older, you take a toll on your body. I don't care if you spend $1 million on your body. You're old. It's going to take a toll on your body. I'm just, look, I don't know who the Lakers can go to. I don't think, the Lakers said they almost changed his mind. But, no, Dan Hurley set y'all up. If Dan Hurley took the job with the Lakers, him and his wife would have got a divorce. Because Dan Hurley was also a top candidate for the Kentucky job. Guess what he said? If I took that job, I'm going for a divorce. It's not all about the money. All money is not good money. Let me say that again. All money is not good money. Lakers, again, on the head coaching search. Unless you can have LeBron as your coach and just be a player's coach. I don't know what the Lakers are going to do. But, hey, it is not my problem. It is not my decision. I'm not the GM. So I'm glad that they're somewhat suffering. I'm glad. I'm very happy. All right, NBA, talk about last night's game. How about those Celtics? Kyrie struggled. Luka still dropped 30 points. The Dallas Mavericks have turned the ball over so many times in 2 games. When you look at last night's game, y'all talk, and I talked to somebody working about this. Well, Boston is number 1 in 3 points and, number 1 in scoring. The offense that they're doing isn't going to work for the future. I don't understand how in the world, when you watch the Celtics, they're an AAU team. And it pissed me off last night because there's no ball movement. It's jacking threes. It is AAU basketball. We're getting away with it right now. We might get away with it for 2 more games, jacking threes. Game 1, we took about 50 threes a game. And game 2, we took about a good 40. Porzingis might have got hurt again. Luka is beat up. Kyrie is struggling, but I don't expect Kyrie to struggle for 4 games. Game 3 in Dallas on Wednesday is going to be very, very tough. Jason Kidd knows how to make adjustments. So I'm not going to sit here as a Celtics fan and say that the series is over. I'm definitely not going to say that at all. I'm definitely not going to say that. There's a lot of basketball left to be played. There's a reason why the Dallas Mavericks made the finals. You know what it's called? It's the pattern for the Celtics. Because I promise you, the way the Celtics offense is, if they jack threes against Denver or Minnesota, they would be down 0-2 right now. The only problem of why Dallas lost last night and why they only lost by what 7 points was because of missed free throws and turnovers. The Boston Celtics had a better free throw percentage than the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks out-rebounded the Celtics. You're not going to win off turnovers and missed free throws. And Luka Doncic was hurt badly. Have you ever seen Luka Doncic miss 2 free throws in a row? Have you ever seen Kyrie struggle to shoot the ball? Look, I'm not happy the Celtics are up 2-0. And that's probably because I'm kind of more basketball fundamental than some of y'all Celtics fans, as no disrespect. Y'all just like to watch y'all team score and jack threes, but I actually understand sports from a coach perspective that jacking threes is the most dumbest solution of all time. You don't have Steph Curry, you don't have Klay Thompson, but also when it comes to this at the end of the day, the Warriors, they jack threes, but they also run the offense. We don't. We got Porzingis. What's up, Batman? Thank you for tuning in. We have Porzingis, and he needs to hit the post. Our defensive adjustments was, our defense efficiency was number 2 in the league, I think. Our defense I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about the offense. Being up by 15, jacking threes, let the team back in the game. It's a 5-point game. That's fine. I'll go on a rant about this for a long time. But if you really go back and watch the game, that's what it is. They should have lost. See, it caught up with us in the Indiana series. We just lucky we came back down like 20 points against Indiana. Indiana ain't got no damn experience. Indiana ain't made the Eastern Conference Finals since 2014. That's a new team. They don't got no Paul George. They don't got no Roy Hibbert. They don't got Frank Vogel. They ain't been in the Eastern Conference Finals in 10 years. The Dallas Mavericks hadn't been to the finals in 13 years. Since Dirk, since, Jason Kidd as a player, Sean Marion, like Vince Carter. This is a different team. JJ Barrera. This right now is just lack of experience. Boston's been to the finals 2022. So they had the team. They built from scratch. They had the 4-year plan with Brad Stevens, and then he turned it over to Ime Udoka. He cheated on Nia Long. I don't know who cheats on Nia Long, the most finest woman on the planet. You don't cheat on Nia Long. It's like cheating on Beyonce. And then you had Joe Mazzulla. Look, at the end of the day, Game 3 is going to be it. I thought we both said, me and the man from Soul both said that whoever wins Game 2 is going to win the series, but there could be a possibility that we could lose 2 straight. But the Boston Celtics had not lost a road game this year. The Boston Celtics have not lost a road game this year. They have not. But it's the NBA Finals. Things can change. And you just have to be careful of what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, NFL, because I think Mike Tomlin got a 3-year extension with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 years. Huh. Okay. Mike Tomlin is from Virginia. Great. Has he ever visited Virginia ever since he got the head coaching job at Pittsburgh? Does he come? I know his son plays at Boston College. Bill O'Brien's the head coach. Okay, look. Mike Tomlin probably deserves the extension. You know the Steelers' history. They only had, 3 or 4 coaches. They don't really fire their coaches. They don't fire their coaches. That's just their nature. Now, him having Matt Canada was the worst thing ever. He should have been let go of Matt Canada. But let's look at the Steelers. You got Justin Fields. You got Russell Wilson for cheap. You traded Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. Look, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be last in the division. Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith. That's what it comes down to when it comes to Mike Tomlin. The offense. Now, the defense is great, but the defense is not the the Steel Curtain defense. It's not the Steel Curtain defense. It's not James Harrison. It's not Troy Polamalu. It's not Ike Taylor. It's not Ryan Clark. It's not Brent Kiesel, Joey Porter. It's not that defense. It's not the 2008 defense. Mike Tomlin was a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings for 1 year. I think he also was part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm correct, and got a head coaching job. But when he won the championship, I'm going to say this now, and I'm not taking away any credit from anybody. Mike Tomlin won the Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team. Mike Tomlin won the Super Bowl with Bill Cowher's team. When Mike Tomlin had his own team, he ain't do jack. Mike Tomlin has underachieved. Congratulations. You have 16, 17 seasons without a losing record. You've underachieved. Everybody wants to talk about the Patriots not having Tom Brady, but what the Steelers done without Big Ben? Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Josh Dobbs, Mason Rudolph. What the Patriots went through? Cam Newton, Mac Jones? 2 quarterbacks? I mean, at least we have veteran backups. Who was y'all veteran backups? I don't know. Y'all have the receivers, but your offense don't fit the players. See, when you become a coach, you have to have Neil Ruth Hall. Where is the other guy? The other guy is somewhere in downtown getting arrested. Uh, he'll be back soon. I got to bail him out of jail. At the end of the day, when it comes to Mike Tomlin, congratulations. You had 16 consecutive seasons without a losing record. That is the third longest to Bill Belichick from 2001 to 2019. 19 straight seasons without a losing record, and you just passed George Halas. I hope you have a losing season this year. Thank you, Nelly Ruth Hall. I donated. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for donating to Totem Pole Sports. I'm not saying that Mike Tomlin doesn't deserve a contract extension, because I know if they fired him, they're not going to be as good. But can we be honest with ourselves when it comes to this situation? You hired Arthur Smith. You fired Matt Canada. You got Kenny Pickett. You traded Kenny Pickett for a 6th round. You got Justin Fields. Your defense, you got Patrick Queen, and you use your offensive line for the first 2 picks of the 2024 draft. Okay, great. I'm not worried about your defense. I'm worried about your offense. And in that AFC North, you got the Bengals, you got the Ravens, you got the Browns. Y'all will be last in the division. Look at the last 8 games of your schedule. 6 of them are divisional games, and 2 of them are against the Eagles and the Chiefs. 1 of them on Christmas Day, and I think 1 of them on Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football. The Steelers, at best, maybe will be 9-8. Who's going to be your starter? Russell Wilson. I guess Mike Tomlin said that Russell Wilson is going to be your starter. What type of Russell Wilson are we going to get? The one that took the Seahawks to back-to-back Super Bowls, or the one that looked like crap in the Sean Payton offense? Or Nathaniel Hackett? Is it Sean Payton's fault that Russell Wilson is bad? Probably, because, you can't give these quarterbacks your Drew Brees offense. They're not Drew Brees. And you don't have – and when you're a coach, you got to develop within the players what they like. Is Arthur Smith the offensive coordinator who just got fired as the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons? He don't got Desmond Ridder, so I don't want to hear excuses now. Arthur Smith likes to push the ball down the field when he play calls. Russell Wilson's a side-to-side thrower. That little screens and crap ain't going to work. Push the ball down the field. Also, you didn't extend Najee Harris. So are y'all giving up on running backs just like that? Because I think y'all running game was pretty awful last year too. Your defense has been consistent. I'm not saying it's a Steel Curtain defense. It's been very consistent. Let's keep it a buck. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be last in the division. I tell you who wins the division. Between the Bengals or the Ravens. I probably would take the Ravens because the Ravens are the best regular season team. But when it comes to the playoffs, they ain't jack. Socrates, you don't know nothing. I'm going to say it again. Great wise man from Socrates. You don't know nothing. Thank you, Troll Boogies, for commenting a very inappropriate thing I'm not going to say on the stream. Thank you for commenting. It helps the algorithm. But not with the inappropriate stuff, or I might ban you. That made me very uncomfortable, what you just sent me. Very uncomfortable. Last thing that I want to talk about before we end this show. Last thing we got to talk about. Last thing I want to talk about is this NFL season. This NFL season. Who is going to win the Super Bowl? Actually, forget it. Not that who's going to win the Super Bowl. Are the Chiefs are going to three-peat? Okay. Lost L'Jarius Sneed to the Titans. You still have Chris Jones. You still have Patrick Mahomes. You added a wide receiver speed. Last year, the Chiefs were a defensive team. The AFC West is going to be tougher because you have Jim Harbaugh now, who is the head coach. And I have a feeling, and I'm going to say this, I have a feeling that the Chargers, whoever's going to dethrone out of the AFC to go to the Super Bowl, it's either going to be the Bengals or the Chargers. I have confidence in what Jim Harbaugh has done in Michigan and what coaches he's brought in. He's got Greg Roman as the offensive coordinator. I think he has Jesse Minter as the defensive coordinator that he brought from Michigan. I have a feeling that the Chargers will stop the throne of the Chiefs. I understand it's Patrick Mahomes. They got speed. But this is not a Chargers team where you don't know who you're going to get out of. Justin Herbert is still a great quarterback. The problem was the coaching. Brandon Staley was a fraud. He was a defensive coach. He only got the job because of what he did 1 year with the Rams when he won the Super Bowl. He's a fraud. He's a guy with the sheet up here and the pin on the side. Do you remember that game? The end of the game of the Chargers versus the Raiders, where he's an idiot. He calls a timeout and somehow loses the game when the Raiders were going to tie. Look, I like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. It is hard to three-peat. Just ask the man that Tom Brady. It is hard to three-peat. Teams are going to start to figure you out. The NFL is going to start to figure out the Kansas City Chiefs offense. No matter how much speed you got, they're going to figure them out. Go_Arsenal. What's up? I'm not saying hi. You don't just say hi. You have to say hello, good morning, good afternoon, respectful. Ronaldo is better than me. Duh. I mean, why am I entertaining that? The Chiefs will not win the Super Bowl again. I will tell you who's going to the AFC Championship game. Mark my words. The Bengals and the Chiefs. They will go to the AFC Championship game. Out of the NFC, it will be the Lions versus the 49ers. Those are the two matchups that will happen. I'm saying it again. Chiefs are who? Chiefs are better than the. You can't spell, kid. Are you saying Chiefs or Sheeps? You can't spell. It's called Google Translator for a reason. It spell it for you. Why I just predicted the future of the NFL? The Kansas City Chiefs aren't repeating. End of story. This is Totem Pole Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. We love you. We appreciate you. Totem Pole Sports is back. We're the low man on the totem pole. We'll be back later on for great and more content because y'all are the best. Y'all have a great day. Take care.